Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. It has been in your news. It has dominated your news. Study says fear has many Barbadians not even going out. Now, Barbadians are a special group of people, and usually if something is not affecting them in their home, they don't worry about it. So when it reaches the stage where they are worrying about crime and it has not even happened to them, as it has been, it sits here in your reporting, it has not even happened to them, but they're feeling it, they're feeling fear, they're being gripped with fear. It only shows that there's a crack in the chain. We talk about the links in the chain. There's a crack in that chain, and Barbadians are beginning to realize, they are looking in that mirror and they're beginning to realize that not even their family they could depend on. It has to be that, because when something is going on, it would have to be like a war going on for this kind of stuff to be in the news, where people are talking about a growing fear. It will have to be like a war zone. And if within that war zone you have a cohesive family structure, or your neighbors, you could depend on your neighbors, that would alleviate some of your fears. You will feel a little bit protected, or protection. Okay, that does not exist in Barbados. That does not exist in Barbados, where people feel as though they can turn to their families or turn to a neighbor. Barbadians are beginning to understand that there's one in every household. I'm not talking about just the guns and the robbers. I'm talking about where the fear is coming from. And the guns and the robbers come out of that household that has one of them in there, because you are ignoring that children are being abused in the homes. I saw where a minister is saying, not a minister, somebody wrote some editorial in Barbados News saying that they have to look at the household and the schools. Excuse me? Really and seriously, you actually said that like it's something like novel, like it's something that you never thought about before? Of course, you have to look within the household, how the structure, the dynamics in that household, where the child is being born into, how many other children, how many fathers, what the educational system is within the parents, and what kind of money, finance, what are they bringing to the table when they're having these children. Of course, you have to look at the family structure, and it's not there in Barbados. It is not there. You see, you guys are stopping. You need to stop pretending. You need to look in the mirror. Some of you are looking in the mirror and you are seeing life exactly for what it is. And you feel fear. It's a very easy app. I call all the emotions apps, okay? It's a very easy app you can upload, but it's also a very easy one you can detach from you. You can actually delete it from your system, okay? Because the first thing you have to recognize when you're feeling fear, and it's something that Bajans don't tell you. They're trying to make you think that you're going out in your mind. The first thing you should recognize when you are in fear is it's normal. It's normal. There's something going on around you. You may not be able to put your finger on it. People are lying to you. When you come to someone, or when you go to someone and say, well, such and such is what I feel, and I'm suspecting this, and they're lying to you, and it builds with fear, because It's overriding something in you that you cannot see and you cannot prove it, but you know it's there, and you know that the person that you're talking to is lying to you. So it builds fear. And what your psychologists and your psychiatrists and people in the mental health area should be saying when they put these reports out, when these reports come out, they should let you know it is normal because you're being lied to. And you have a higher sense. There's a God sense to who you are that is telling you, keep your guard up. That's all it is. It's telling you, keep your guard up. Something is happening. You're not safe in your home. You're not safe with your neighbors. You cannot trust the people you work around. Just keep your guard up. And when you realize that what you're feeling is natural, it's something that is generated by your system to tell you, just look left, look right before you cross the road. Keep things simple, and it's going to alleviate a lot of that fear because you begin to trust yourself. You're going to stop being gaslit, because that's what the society there does to you. You're being gaslit all the time. And when you rely on yourself, when you start to trust what you're feeling, the senses and the jitter, you feel jittery and you feel as though, you're looking over your shoulders. When you start to respect and honor your higher self and thank your higher self for giving you something, that warning. It's a warning. When you start to thank yourself, when you start to look in the mirror and you say, you know what, I'm still happy that I have my senses, that I can like sniff out things. You can sniff things out. You start to relax. You're going to start to relax. You need your professionals to tell you that you are okay, that what you're feeling is normal, because there's an uptick in everything that's going on, and you're beginning to see it right there in your family. You're beginning to see it right there in the neighbors. You're beginning to see it's like an opening. Your eyes are opening and you're seeing life for what it is. You're seeing life in Barbados for what it is. So someone sent this to me and they were saying that they think it's the authorities, that they love it like that. They want Barbadians to be living in fear so that they can control the population. You know how they talk about, when you have chaos and, with the people who come in to try to straighten it out, they're the ones who started it in the first place. I think that's what they're relying on when they say things like this. And they're talking about the $300 handout was, just like pittance and whatever. There's more to it, but I will have to get out of this and go to another place. Believe me, well, you don't have to believe me, but they're talking about it and they're saying it's the authorities. But the government is the people. You are the government, okay? You are the government. And you have, although you give away your power with the vote, if you are careful, just be careful with who you're giving that vote to, maybe you'll have better results. Maybe. It never has happened. When you give someone your power, they're supposed to look back at you and spit on you. That's really what would happen and should happen. That if you give someone your power, when it's all signed off on and they're sworn in with your power, your vote, they're actually supposed to look back on you and spit on you. Okay, so don't be sad by it. Don't be sad by it. It's something that happens. So until there's a better system, you just need to pick better. Do your best. Do your best to pick a little better. And hopefully the person would know that you expect that spit. And when you are expecting it and you let them know that you are expecting them to screw you over, maybe they won't. Maybe if they know what you know, if you tell them, I'm going to give you my vote and I'm expecting you I'm expecting you to trip up. I'm waiting. Maybe that's what you should tell them. I'm waiting for you to trip up and turn back to me to do some kind of unholy act. Let them know you're waiting for them. And that will pull them back. That will keep them on the straight and narrow. You have to let people know that you are keeping your eyes on them when you've given them a mandate so that they can keep on the straight and narrow. You just can't give them your power and turn your back. Okay? So it's a dirty game. Politics is a dirty game. But you have to keep an eye on the people that you have elected. And I'm going to conclude, your professionals, your mental health professionals need to let the people of Barbados know that what you are feeling is normal. You have a heightened awareness. It may be this age you're going through, age of Aquarius, or maybe it's, more information is coming your way. You're getting more information, and you're aligning the information with what you see around you, happening around you, and it's lining up. It's actually lining up. There's a pedophile in every house, in the church, sitting next to you, in your government, in your workspace, at the laundromat, when you go to buy food, every place you go, there's someone who's ready to defraud you, and there's someone who's going to hand you money that is not real money. When you get that sort of information, and you're looking and listening to the information, and it starts to line up, it would generate a sort of fear. It would generate, it's like, oh Lord, you mean this is really happening? And although you've heard of it, now you're really recognizing it is happening, and your denial of it has made it spiral out of control. You not recognizing it to the point that you know it was happening, but you were saying to yourself, but it didn't really happen to me, so I'm not going to worry about it. That is no longer a choice. That's no longer an option. You have to worry about it. You have to understand that if it happens to the least of you, if it happens to the least of you, it has happened to you. It's coming for you. And that is an awakening that you have, and it is normal. Your fears are normal. Okay? You're not sick. You're not mentally ill. It's all normal. Now you have to learn to trust yourself within that fear and say, okay, it was just a warning. It's like there's a hole, and I almost stepped in it. You catch yourself, oh my God, I almost fell into that hole. Is that you get gripped by a little fear. But then you realize, okay, there's a hole. I'm going to get some board. I'm going to let the authorities know. I'm going to let the owner of the blah, blah, and you work with it. You work with it. Okay? And you thank yourself for your quick reflexes, and you have to love yourself. Love yourself and pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back. Look yourself in the mirror and see the God side of who you are. You have to see the God side of who you are and pull on it. Pull on that. Okay? So yes, there's fear growing over the murder rate. There's fear growing over all the crime in Barbados. People are not going out as much because, it's come home. It has come home. But what your mental health professionals need to do when these things come out in your news, and it's a lot of it that's coming out in your news, you need to hear from them that you're okay. You just need to find coping mechanisms now to deal with that fear that you have, but you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. It's just more information that you have allowed in, and the information that you have allowed in is aligning. It's aligning with what you see within your society, and it's just like, it's gripped you a little bit, just a little grip, but you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Okay? If you were still denying it, then it would be a mental issue if you were still denying it. The fact that you're feeling the fear, means that a window has opened and you're seeing things for what they are. So it's just now for you to make that next jump and another step, and you're gonna start to fix things. That's the next step for you to start to fix things, okay? So you're on your way. You're on your way. And okay, I'm done. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.